Dear students, myself Kiran MP. I am working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Government Engineering College, Kushalnagar. In today's session, let me introduce you an important topic in the fundamentals of web development, that is forms. In this session, let me see what actually forms are, and let me give you an example of various forms that you oftenly use in your day-to-day daily activities while browsing. So let me have a look at the agenda of this session. So first I will tell you what actually HTML forms are. Okay, and what are some forms we often use while browsing using our mobile or desktop, laptop, whatever it be. Next, I will show you how the structure of HTML form. Okay, how the form contents are organized. Later, once you come to know about what actually forms are, okay, we'll see that form will interact with servers. Okay, so how those forms will interact with server, let me give you an introduction to that. Later, I'll tell you something about a query string. Okay, you might have heard about query string while you have learned uh, server-side programming. Okay, next at the last I will wind up the session by discussing a topic URL encoding. Okay, I mean URL encoding means URL might contain some characters other than ASCII, what we call unsafe ASCII characters. Okay, those characters need to be converted into valid ASCII values. Okay, so how those unsafe ASCII characters will be converted to valid ASCII values we will discuss here. Okay, so now let me come to introduction HTML forms. So let me tell you, before telling HTML form, let me give you an example. Hope all of you have a Gmail account, right? If not a Gmail account, all of you have a Facebook account or other social media account. Okay, let me take an example of a Gmail account. Okay, now assume that you are logged into your browser. You will type www.gmail.com. Okay, so request is sent to Google server, and Google server is going to return you a login page, right? One web page which contains some section where you are going to enter your user ID, password, then you are going to click on submit. Is it? So this section I am going to call it as a form. Okay, so you will enter your username, you will enter your password, then you will click on submit. Okay, so first validation will be taken place at the client side itself. Then if username and password are validated, okay, this will be sent to a Google server. Okay, so Google server is going to authenticate, then it's going to send you your mailbox. Okay, if you are unauthorized. So now, when you on clicking submit, your request has been sent to Google server. Got it? So what I said, this section where you're going to enter your username and password, I'm going to call here as a form. So on the form you are entering some information, then you're clicking on submit. This the information what you have entered is sent to server. Server is going to process that. Through this section, through this form, you are interacting with server. Got it? So clear. So form is a mechanism. Form is something through which user interacts with web server. I think now we are clear with the forms, right? So I repeat, form provides user an alternative way to interact with a web server. Now coming to type of informations, okay, form can accept. So as usual, in your login form, you used to enter your username, right? There's a text box which accepts regular text as an input. So we call this as a text input. Okay, which are printable characters, which are viewable characters, which can be seen, which are visible. Those we call text. Okay, in the text box where you are going to enter your password, okay, so you used to see that password is seen as a star symbol. Clear? So what the characters you're typing are not visible, rather it is displayed as star asterisk. So we call this input as a password. So next, let me say, not the login form, okay? Suppose, let me say, some registration form. Suppose I am creating a new account, okay? In that case, there will be a field known as gender. Okay, I need to select male, female, or other, right? So this selection list, okay, we call an options. Among this option, I need to select one. Got it? So radio and check boxes. Even radio is like a list, okay? And we have seen radios let me say gender rather than in a drop down menu. Option list, what I can say, is like drop down menu. But whereas radio is that everything is not, it's not like drop down menu. Everything is displayed, only one thing you can select. Now check boxes. Checkbox, I think all of you are familiar with this. So whenever you're going to create a new user account in any of the website, any of the social media website, or any other, okay, so at the last, or let me tell you, when you're going to install a new software, got it? So there will be one checkbox where you need to click. So on selecting the checkbox, it means you are accepting some terms and conditions, okay? So that we call checkbox. Okay, so checkbox is a multi-value input. Got it? You can there might be two or more checkboxes. You can select all those checkboxes. So this is about forms. So I repeat, what is form? Form is an alternative way through which user interacts with web server. So now look at this slide. This slide contains one web page. Okay, and this web page, there's a simple form with two fields. One is the title field. Okay, there's a label, name title. Immediately after that label, there's one text box field. Got it? So in this, and one more label is there, name country, and that follows a drop down menu, options list, selection list. Got it? So and there's one button named submit. So what I here now meantime we have a look at HTML code fragment at the right side. So here I'm using an HTML element form. Okay, this I'll tell you later. Okay, this means now the section and those things what you are going to include within this form tag will be treated as form. I means everything those you are going to enter within this form, okay, is will be interacting with the server. And who's that server? Okay, and I need to specify. So now you just have a look at the first line in this code fragment. Okay, what is specific form? Method equals get. Okay, this what actually this get I'll tell you later in next session. Get means one of there are two methods of sending input to the server. Okay, one is get, the other one is post. There is a slight difference between get and post. We call post is a secured one. Okay, whereas get is not that secure. We'll see why get is not secure and why post is secure. Okay, while I discuss about get and post. Okay, so but at present you just think method equal get means it's one of the way through which the input parameters will be sent to server. Okay, and there's one more attribute known as action. Okay, now action equals process.php. I mean, now what I said in your Gmail login page, once you enter your user ID and password, when you click submit on validation at client side, your user ID and password is sent to whom? Google server, right? So Google server will authenticate you. If you are authenticated, it's going to return to your mailbox. So here actions specifies who is that server who is going to process the client request. In this example, I specified some server named process.php. Got it? I mean to say, when I click on submit button on this form, okay, the two inputs, one is the title and the other one is country. These two input will be sent to a server process.php. The process.php is going to process that. Okay, clear with this? So, and one more thing in this slide, just you need to know in this code fragment, for the text box following the label title, I have given name as title. Okay, and for the drop down menu following the label country, I have given name as where. Okay, just will because I am going to make use of this in next slides. Okay, for the text box following label title, name is title. For the drop down menu following label country, name is where. Okay, so we'll proceed. So this is very clear to you. Okay, I need not have to spend time on this, but let me tell you. So as usual, okay, the first, okay, what you will do, you will log into your system. Okay, you will open some browser. There you are going to type some URL, right? So once you click, let me say gmail.com, okay? So once you click on that, what happens? Your request is sent to Google server. This is step one. So now Google server, what it does, it returns you login form. Okay, I mean to say a server returns some HTML document that contains a form. Now this HTML document is received at your side, and you are viewing that in your browser, and you are going to see that is a login form, right? Got it. In this case, just a form with two fields, one is title and country. So now what you are going to see in the third step, what you are going to see do is that you are going to type Central Park for the title and United States as a country. So now remember, okay, for this title, for the text box following that label title, I give a name title, and for drop down menu I give a name where. Means the value for title is Central Park. The value for where is United States. Okay. So now this is based on a method, whether it's a get or post method. Okay. The request is sent to the web server on clicking submit. Then the web server is again on receiving this request is going to execute a script, okay, that is going to process this form data. Now have a look at next slide. See here. So query string, okay, query string is part of URL in case of get method. Okay, so query string, I mean to say query, what are the parameters, input parameters that will be sent to server on submitting the form. Okay, clearly see a query string is in this case is title equals Central Park, where equals United States. Okay, and in this form there are two input fields, right? What are those two input fields? One is the title and the other one is where. And what is the value of title? Central Park. What is the value of United States? So query string is title equals Central plus Park plus here to replace space, white space. Ampersand here is to differentiate. It acts as a delimiter between the fields. Okay, ampersand is a delimiter between the fields. And the next field is where. Again, equals values equals United plus States. Again, places for white space. Got it? Clear? So this we call a query string. And one more thing. Now, suppose we have in my input, okay, input, if there is some other unsafe ASCII characters, okay, so how that will be encoded? I mean to say, in this query string, you can see that the white space is replaced with plus, right? Got it? So if other than white space, okay, if I have some other character, how it will be replaced? So in this example, in the text box following label or text, there is one unsafe characters, one unsafe ASCII character. Okay, so if there any unsafe ASCII character, that will be replaced by percentile following two hexadecimal values. because unsafe ASCII characters need to be converted into valid ASCII values. Clear? So in this query string, artist equals the name, but white space are replaced by plus. Got it? But unsafe ASCII characters are replaced by percentile following two valid ASCII values. Clear? So this is about this session. Okay, thank you for listening.